Kaboom.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the AIB Show. This is Amit.
And Dominic.
And we're coming to you here on a stormy Saturday morning in South Florida. Tropical storm Alex is raging through South Florida. And by raging, I mean causing a bunch of rain. And some people still decide to drive, and some people still don't turn off their phone. And they want their phone chiming in on the podcast while we're recording. But yeah. What's going on, Dominic? How was your morning? How was your stormy morning been?
Oh, wonderful. I'm just getting over COVID, but I probably just catch a flu right now or a cold because my dogs, it's like a hurricane outside and they won't use the bathroom. So I'm out there. I don't own a rain jacket. You own a rain jacket?
It's called a raincoat, first of all.
It's called a raincoat.
It's not called a rain jacket. I'm 99% sure it's not called a rain jacket. You butcher.
Tomato, or as in a group chat, or in the group chat we had yesterday, we had a friend say potato.
Yeah, this guy's Irish apparently. No, I do not. What I do own rain boots, but that's from New York. But hold up. Meaning somebody bought them and they bought the wrong size on Amazon. So like, "Yo, take these. I'm buying new ones." And I was like, "Okay." So now I've never worn them before, but I'm gonna break them out today though.
I was drenched trying to deal with my dogs.
Hold up, but you want an umbrella though?
No.
All right, hold up. All right.
I don't subscribe to these societal norms.
This guy, so you prefer to get the pneumonia, but you're okay with it. You can't live in South Florida and not have a rain. Dude, I have like 5 in my car.
I have not owned an umbrella probably in at least 15 years.
So you just get wet all the time when you're running around, or you're the guy running with like a newspaper over your head or something like that.
No, towel.
Hold up. So you keep towels in your car?
No, I don't keep towels. If I have to run out, I might take a towel and.
Yeah, but if you're ready, if you're en route to some place, you're
getting. If I'm en route in some place, it's rough.
So buying a $10 umbrella and leaving your car not an option?
I mean, it's probably a wise move.
Probably is not the case. I think it's valid. It is a definite wise. Why would you not? Like, why are you opposed to umbrellas?
I just feel like they're just. I don't know.
I don't know. They help me not get pneumonia. I won't get as wet. I don't understand why you wouldn't.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. An umbrella would have helped today trying to deal with the dogs.
An umbrella helps anytime it rains, by the way, Dominic. Not just today.
Yeah. So I guess technically so does a rain jacket.
Coat. Not a rain jacket. And if I see you put on a full-on raincoat and you walk around with a yellow raincoat walking around, I'm going to laugh at you, right? And I don't get the raincoat because you put on a raincoat. They're not easy to go on and off from what I remember as a kid. Like slide over your head, right? Coming like a big garbage bag you're putting over. So now I get to my car. I'm still seeing my car full on wet.
Yeah, but same thing with the umbrella. You get in the car and then you have to shake it out and it gets all
Listen, actually open the opposite direction so you can shake it out and when it gets in your car, it's not that wet. But I am not. So the raincoat and the car don't go hand in hand. The raincoat and an office. And again, if I see you walking around with them big yellow raincoats, that's going to be pretty funny. That's pretty. You should get one of those. That's going to be really, really funny.
Speaking of funny, you see this week, Starbucks went on their high horse and announced that they are exiting Russia because of their invasion of Ukraine. You know, the immoral move on their part to do such a thing. Oh, Starbucks, good for you.
So did McDonald's, by the way.
Yes. Yeah. That's it on the radar.
Yeah,
you know what?
Go ahead. What would you rather them do, I guess? Well, hold up. Let's stand back. What's your opposition to them leaving right now? I'll put it that way. Let's start there.
100% hypocrisy.
Okay.
The real reason they're doing it is for money. Because of the backlash of their investors and the consumers they actually lost the earnings from there, and it turned into a negative stock aspect. But to your point, there was positive public opinion of this, which they feel will turn around and be beneficial later on. But initially, it's under the guise of, look at us. Yeah. It's nobility. We're noble company. We're taking a stance on something that's wrong.
Completely with you.
Which is complete hypocrisy, because then they shouldn't have a single Starbucks or McDonald's in America. Okay, not one single one.
But then what company would you subscribe to?
What do you mean?
Because every company is... Not every is a strong word. The great majority of companies are just as hypocritical when it comes to stuff like this. All the Nike shoes you buy for a whole bunch of money that some kid in China made for $2.
True, but yes, but they're
you prefer them just entrench in child slavery versus leave one of the countries. Like, I'm confused as to what you would like. Or again, we're not a utopian world, so you're not going to get a utopian outcome. So what is and
I get your point. I still think it's different. Not different like better or worse. It's still horrible. It's worse actually, but it's different in the fact that
you're numb.
They are putting out the press. They're putting out the. Oh, we're definitely no. We're numb to both. We're numb to both. Otherwise, we would demand that there's no McDonald's or Starbucks in America. We're absolutely numb to both.
No,
hold
up. Again, I would McDonald's and Starbucks in America have to do anything with my shoes made in China or McDonald's.
No, because we're numb to atrocities. We're just numb to atrocities. Yeah, it's not just ignorant. We're just numb to it, right? But we're coming out and say, oh yeah, you got to get out. Don't do business in Russia, but do business in America, where we historically and still do to this very day exactly what Russia is doing to Ukraine. Exactly.
Agreed.
Every single day, almost every single year of existence of America, we've been at war when we have not been. Overwhelmingly, we have not been attacked. We are the aggressor for self-promoting interests. We also domestically are the shithole country Trump talks about, and we're domestically at war too. But that's not a that's a societal thing. That's not a a unified front, a government deciding to do that and be at war, right? Though a lot of their moves lead to it. So, from the prison system to healthcare to education, all this stuff that we do and lock up people, we're a shithole country. The whole world sucks. And to pretend we're not, it's just, it bothers me so much sometimes. But
that's all we do as societies, period, is you put on a front.
Yeah.
Right? If anybody, like, it's this thing where people go, you have all these reality show dynamics. And you go, wow, these families are crazy, right? And then I make the general joke of, hey, would you allow a camera to follow you 24/7 for X number of months? The answer to that question is hell no. Now, not me, because I'm bored as hell. Nothing's happening in my house. But if I had a family, I'm sure I'm going to yell at my kids and say something I shouldn't have said one time. And I'm sure I'm going to say something to my wife I shouldn't have said one time. Or she's going to say something to me or whatever it may be. Point being, we are all like, you may want to turn your mute off so you can talk, Mike, Dominic. Your mute's still on. Dominic. Oh, my God.
And I ruined the joke. The timing's off. Go on.
My God! What were you gonna say? Because
doesn't matter. The timing is off. Completely off.
Well, all right. So you're an idiot twice. So you missed your joke and you can't hit mute. But no, that's my point, right? My point is, so nobody looks inside. Everybody looks at everybody else, and that's just the way we are as people. We assume what we're doing in any situation is quote unquote normal. How I raise my kids is normal. How I do this is normal.
Do we think that?
Yeah.
Then I guess I just
again, not right or wrong, normal, right? That's what I mean. I mean normal, which is a really general word. Not right or wrong, just normal. Like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. Like, you don't wake up ever questioning any of your morning routines with you and your family. They're just normal. Right? And now if I came to your house and you're like, oh, let's have breakfast, and there's kale and stuff next to my eggs, I'm like, what is this? Not normal. For y'all, it's normal.
My kids don't have kale for breakfast. I have kale for breakfast.
There you go.
If I already eat breakfast.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I mean. I mean, case in point, your wife and I had a conversation via the Twitter. No, the Insta Twitter. Because one of my friends, Ari, she purposely.
That was me, or also my wife.
Your wife independently. She has broccoli with her eggs. But not like you chop a little broccoli, like, hey, I want to scramble eggs with broccoli, chop a little broccoli, throw it in the eggs, which also I don't like. But whole friggin', what are they, stalks? What do you call that?
So I love broccoli. I wouldn't do that. But your friend had a picture with like a full salad, kind of like a side salad. Oh, it looked good.
Okay, so your wife was like, why would you have salad with eggs? To which I expressed to her, if you go to many a deli, not the deli in New York, many of these like, bougie delis down here, you get eggs. There's a side salad, eat your toast and your potatoes. But this girl, Ari, had a full-on, like, bushel, I don't know what the term for a collection of broccoli is, but a whole bunch of broccoli. And you can't have broccoli and eggs like that. I refuse it. And she was like, what are you talking about? She thought the salad was the outlier. And I was like, no, the salad's fine. The broccoli's a problem. Point being, Ari thinks that's normal. So if she had kids in her house, that'd be normal. And I'd be like, that's abnormal. Point is, we always look outside. We don't generally question what we do as abnormal as a collective.
Yeah. Huh.
There you go. Take that for your thought of the day, boys and girls. But on that note of things that we do as normal, you have children. Your children have friends come to your house. I don't know you. Oh, are you a good host, Dad? Like when kids come to your house, are you like a?
I'll tell you this.
Are you the cool dad? Are you like?
Oh yeah, I'm the cool
get
dad.
off the couch or like yeah. Who are you?
No, so she's a good host mom. I'll tell you that. Snacks. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah,
Let's go to this. Take you there.
Not real snacks though. I mean, it's like fake potato chips that are like gluten free and no trans fats and all that stuff. So snacks is debatable.
First of all,
a bowl of unsalted almonds is not a snack. But okay, whatever you want to do for your family, sure.
First of all, next time you come here,
cranberries.
First time,
snack is there's some cranberries that are dry.
Next time you come, hold on. Next time you come here, we're gonna do this for the show, like record it, a little thing, a blind taste test. How about that?
If I'm a kid, I'm not trying. Again, my palate's changed since I was a kid. I can't have the kid snacks I had then. Bro, I haven't even had a potato chip. I don't like any of that stuff now. When I was a kid, different story. You can blind taste test.
I'm gonna give you kids the stuff that kids eat,
mm-hmm.
what you think kids eat, and the alternative, and you'll see.
But again, my point is, I don't like what kids eat anymore. But I'll do it anyway. But I don't like what kids eat anymore because the game has changed. But yes, kids, okay, sorry.
Here's the thing with kids. The most I'd say overwhelming majority of kids that come over, it's because of change. There's occasionally one item, not the kid, one item they're like, oh, I don't like. But because it's different, they wind up liking it. Because the tastes have evolved with these healthier. I don't like to call them healthy because when there's still a lot of sugar, that's the thing. It's not like my kids eat healthy things. It's healthier things. There's a very big difference between that, right? So because the tastes have evolved in a lot of these healthier things, the kids actually like them.
So kids come to your house.
Yeah, they go in our cabinet like we when we redid the kitchen. We have a big pantry now and everything. Yeah, and they start eating a lot of stuff. Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so you got kids over all the time, and kids eat stuff out the pantry. If you're having a meal, like let's say a kid's and I don't know if it's I'm sure it's happened to you. Let's say you're hanging out and it's lunchtime. Everybody's at your house gets fed, I assume. Or if you're hanging out and it's
thanks to my better half, not me. No, I'm horrible.
Hold up. So you're saying if you were at your house, sans your wife, and there are 3 kids over, one is yours, you're making lunch for you and your kid and like deuces other 2 kids?
No, I'm like at that point. I'm like not even making lunch for my kid.
You're like we're all starving. Ain't nobody eating to these kids.
Yeah, how would that be fair?
That's what I'm asking you.
No.
All right. So it's dinner time, same situation. If the kids are hanging around and it gets close to dinner time, we're all eating. Or you do the fake offer. Do you want some dinner, Jimmy? And they go, no, I'm fine, Mr. Delgado. You go, all right, thank you. And you're good. More for me.
No, but thankfully, she knows that I'm pretty bad at this stuff, so she has it covered.
So here's
even if she's not around. Yeah.
Here's why I asked this question, right? Am I clicking on the wrong article? So in Sweden, they don't do that. In Sweden, right? Here's the title of the article, right? Which is by The Independent. I'm Swedish. It's true that we don't serve food to guests. What's the problem? So in Sweden,
sorry to interrupt. I saw a map of Europe talking about which countries do and which countries don't. All right, go on.
This. So what happens in Sweden is the thought process is if I serve food to my guests or generally children, right? When I'm saying guests, because always they're inviting you over, the assumption is that your family may have prepared something for you at their house, and now I'm ruining the meal that your family has prepared. So I'm not going to even enter those waters. So this is like, I'm assuming this isn't just like snacks and Pringles or whatever, but this is like, hey, I'm sitting down for meals. Here's lunchtime. Little Jimmy, you got to wait. Or little Sven or whatever you're
Boris and Sven, yes.
Right? And you go accordingly. Which I thought was crazy. Because I'm like, I've never not been, if I'm at somebody's house, they're feeding me.
Yeah.
And vice versa. For real, think about it. Even I'm at your house for lunch. You're like, yo, we're getting lunch. Your wife's, it's like, if you're at somebody's house and you're
so again, what do they do? Do their kids? Do they feed their kids?
They sit down at the table eating, and little Sven is hanging out in the corner, just waiting for his family to come pick him up. Now, I'm assuming if his family's never picking him up, they're gonna feed this man. But if your family's picking you up at some point, if you're gonna go home, you ain't getting no food at Swedish houses, which I thought was crazy.
Not even IKEA meatballs. Oh, that was hard.
I was waiting for that. Wow. Wow. But just as the thing, I thought that was so crazy that you not cannot, but socially, that's a norm. Again, going back to the things that we find normal versus other things, but that's normal.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Like, I think that's weird.
Yeah, I do find it. But
I mean-
maybe that's. I wonder if these other parents legitimately get offended.
Apparently not, because everybody's doing it in Sweden. It's like a thing. It's like a known thing. So when you go to the house, you know you're not getting any main course food. Unless you're going to stay for the night, I assume. Otherwise, you ain't get no main course food. Yeah, live and learn. Sweden. Doing things differently than the rest of us around the world. Right? And here's another one. Go ahead. Actually, you got something. I've been going on.
You said something about going to the mic closer. You said something about Hamptons rentals cool down.
Yeah. All right. So for those
going there in 2 weeks.
Oh, you are?
Get my Hamptons on. Yeah, I haven't been in 2 years, I think.
Oh, I'm so how have you survived, Dominic?
Well, it's
how have you survived this life?
It's an in-law tradition. They rent a house. I don't know if I ever gave the full story. So they usually do like a week. It'll be like a big house, 6-7 bedrooms, but all their friends will come in. Like they have a group of friends from they were kids, and one couple will come in for 2 days, another one for 2, and it's a bunch of overlap, kind of a thing, and they all chip in, and yeah. So
they all bring their kids and their kids?
No, only one of the couples, like the closest one, they bring their kids who like Katie and Dan consider their cousins, right?
They have kids as well?
They have kids as well, yeah. So I think they're coming for maybe only one night, maybe 2.
How long are you going for?
We're not going the whole time because of my son's basketball, so I think we're going for 4 nights.
See, I'm not a Hamptons guy. Never really have been. Where do you stand on this?
It's interesting. When I first would go before kids and everything, we actually went out a couple times, like DJ vibe, partying kind of thing, and it's cool. I like relaxing, kicking back. But do you need to drive? Like, say you live in the city.
That's
do you
my
need
point.
driving out? I could never do it. Driving the Friday evening and come back Sunday evening. Like, I could never do it. Spend 5 hours in a car. Could never do it.
Exactly my point. So my point is, so those of you who don't know, the Hamptons dynamic is, hey, let's get away for the weekend.
You leave work a little early on a Friday. These people.
You're still stuck in traffic. But yeah, let's leave New York City and let's drive 4 hours and change to the Hamptons. And we're going to go to a house. And this house has been rented by us and a bunch of our other friends, right? So we've got like 4 or 5 different people in the house. I'm going to relax by going to a place that has 12 times as many people as I have in my own house. And this is where I choose to relax, right? That's step 1. Then now we got to coordinate the food situation, the grocery situation, or whatever else, who's cooking, who's doing whatever else. Again, very, very relaxing to do all this. Then eventually I'm going to get to lay out by the pool. So now I've gone to spend the weekend by the pool. And if you are sans children, you'll go out, you go hang out by the beach, the water of which is kind of unnecessary to get into because it's very gross.
You don't get in there. And then the parking to get into the beach, it's just
Parking's
misery.
A pain. And then you go to there are a few restaurants, but there's not like a whole bunch of them. So everybody's at these same restaurants. Yeah. And you go to the clubs and the parties Dominic's talking about, not clubs. There's bars and parties, which are fun, but you're running to everybody you just left in New York, by the way. So now they're all here as well. So all the relaxation you left in New York to come and find is New York City, to come and find the Hamptons is the same. And this is where I go, I don't get this relaxation vibe. Plus the 4 hours to go there and 4 hours to come back. And I've done it on a train as well. I just don't get it. And they do it every weekend because you rent these houses out for the full summer.
That's what I don't get. So for me, which was also cool because, my in-laws used to live up there. So it'd be part of the trip of visiting them. We'd see them in Jersey. A couple of days later, we all drive out, 2 cars, and then everybody starts coming in and out. We spend a week. Dan, my brother-in-law, he'd bring, whether it's a girlfriend or a friend or 2, or they'd come for a couple of days, kind of a thing. And everybody's hanging out. And then we go back to Jersey for a few days. So it's kind of part of the dynamic. But yeah, I always thought, because you see the lines coming in of the cars, coming in and I always thought, that just seems not worth it.
So to your point, if doing what you're doing, meaning flying in from Florida, and it's a whole experience, totally different game. And also you're going for 1 week, totally different game, right? But if you live in New York City and you're driving your ass out to the Hamptons, right? And I mean, and you're driving 4 hours to inevitably stay at a house by a pool. And I'm sure you could have got a nice hotel with a pool in New York City with some service. It would have saved you the drive and the house and whatever else, right? With a rooftop pool, and you could have chilled out. I'm sure you could have just gone over to Jersey if you wanted to and got a nice little house with a pool and a rooftop and whatever too. Like, I don't get it, right? Like, I don't understand it. I mean, so and in Jersey they do the same thing, but they go down to the Jersey Shore.
Which
right?
sounds, I could be my ignorance, but sounds way worse.
So it's different. There's many parts of the beach in Jersey, like Ed, my cousin Ed has a place in oh my God, I'm forgetting where it is right now, but it's gorgeous. And literally you're on like a really, really thin island or a peninsula. So there's sand on both sides and the house is in the middle. So you walk one side, there's sand, you walk another side, if you block there's sand, and you're in the peninsula. It was really awesome. But that's another 3-hour drive. But it's just, yeah, I don't understand driving many hours to relax to then drive back many hours, because the packing, the unpacking, the getting settled, the relaxation, the repacking, the unpacking, the traffic.
I don't know about New York City people. They probably know, but like what we would do is, it's a lot of getting all the stuff locally at the grocery. So you're bringing a big cooler of stuff with all the waters and whatever, the alcohol, and then the food stuff and the eggs, and you're getting all this stuff and you're bringing it there. But I don't know.
Seems like a lot of work.
Yeah.
But then again,
I don't even live in New York, and I ran into New York people there.
All you would is run. They're all New Yorkers.
I ran into Artie one time there, just in the streets.
She's always there. She's the reason I even went. Because she schooled me. She's like, "Hey, let's go for the weekends." And I was like, "How does this work?" And her and I jumped on a train and headed out there. And I was like, "Wow, this is interesting." You know, it was cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm glad I did it. So now I know it's not for me.
Yeah, I couldn't be the whole every week sitting in a car. No,
I don't get it. Because she was like, "Hey, you want to go on in a month?" And I was like, "I do not. I'm good." I'm very fine with the one weekend. Thank you. But yeah, so either way, the market's apparently cooling down.
Why is that?
So I don't know. Right? They don't have a logical answer to this. So I'm speculating. I'm speculating that people have gone other places. I'm speculating that people have not gone anywhere for a while, literally going, international, or they spent a bunch of time in Florida because of COVID or whatever. And they're like, "Hey, I'm already here. Why am I going to go?" And there's those kind of pockets that have cooled down. So people moved over to Jersey, so I go into Hamptons even further away. I'm assuming a lot of people that have moved around have just changed the dynamic of the Hamptons. This is an assumption I'm making, but there is no logical answer for it just yet. Because it was during COVID, it was soaring because everybody wanted to get out of Manhattan because nothing was happening in Manhattan, and they wanted to go relax in the Hamptons in a big house, right? And just spend the time out there where nothing was happening there either. But you went for nothing happened, so you feel better about it, I guess. But yeah, I'm assuming it's still going to be expensive, but just not as expensive.
Today's Who Knows. Unfortunately, this is just for the video people, which they will check it out on YouTube. I just look at the background. Look at my background. My son's room looks like we grew up in Jamaica.
I was going to say that. So for those of you who can't see, right, behind Dominic is a stand fan, right? Like a little stand fan, which I've not seen since Jamaica. Like at my house in Jamaica, there's still many of those, right? And I don't understand the fan dynamic. Like I grew up on it. So when I got AC, I was like, we're good now. But he's got the stand fan. He's in his son's room, which by the way is very gray. There's no color in this man's room. Like it's just gray all over the place. Like, how do you wake up like this? Like this just feels like a quiet place and you can't talk with your mic off, guy.
No. This is a light gray, and that's an accent wall. And then the hue on my camera, it's not so good.
Is the comforter gray? And you turn your camera off. Is the comforter gray? Yes. Everything in the place is gray. There is no color in this man's face. Is the picture on the wall black and white? The one to your left? Is that a picture? What is that?
This one?
Yeah.
Are you on?
Yeah. Yes, Katie, we're on. God. Anyway, this got zero coloration in this person's situation.
Because of the rain? Oh, great. Remember I talked? I'm sorry I had to do that. About I'm going to catch the cold for being outside with the in the rain.
Without an umbrella, and without a raincoat.
Yeah. Puff wants to know why I don't have an umbrella. So anyway.
Where's my umbrella? Someone stole it.
Yeah, I think
obviously not Dominic.
Yeah, it might have been my mom, even though she says she did. I don't know. You never know. my wife just went to get some wee-wee pads for the dogs to pee inside. And the Tropical Storm Alex, rip off the storefront. The water pushed it up. You can't walk in the store.
Is that bad in Boca? I mean, and wherever you live in Florida?
I don't know about Boca, but where I am is...
Look, what do you ripped up the storefront? What do you mean? You mean there's an
I guess
awning?
I think the water pushed the facade of the building down. Like you can't walk in, she's saying.
Where do you guys shop? I'm assuming it's not like a Publix or whatever, like
No,
or
it's
a
Pet
CVS.
Supermarket.
Oh, it's a pretty big establishment. I assume they have a better situation there. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I mean, it looks fine now. Like when I go to the gym in a little bit, I'm gonna have to trek through some water.
So
test out these rain boots.
Stop it, dog.
I'm more shorts than the rain boots, dog. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be that guy. Because hold up.
Wait, are you gonna change or are you gonna work out in the board shorts?
Board shorts? No, shorts. Why do I wear?
I thought you. My bad. I thought you said board shorts. I thought you said
no. Rain boots and shorts.
I thought you said.
I'm not swimming. I'm just right. And that's, I wear flippy floppies, but then my feet are literally in this water that I don't want them to be in.
Yeah.
Hence the rain boot dynamic. It's the only reason I put the rain boots on. But again, they're insulated. They're for winter and rain. So this is gonna be an interesting walk. Luckily, 2 blocks, but still, I'm gonna fight the elements and deal with Tropical Storm Alex. What else you got?
Yeah, not to end this. So we got to end it more positive, but I want to talk about Uvalde and the cops. So it turns out, as I'm sure most of you know,
want to save that for a sadder situation, or you want to?
No, because then we're gonna end it on something happy.
Okay. It
turns out, as most of you know, but then I have an update. You know, the cops sat there and did not go in. Right? They were detaining parents who were trying to get in themselves, and in fact, they did handcuff.
The mom,
who happened to know. I think the police handcuffed her, but she knew some county sheriffs or vice versa, who convinced the officers to let her go. And then she wound up going in the school herself like a badass bleeping mom and got her kids out with the active shooter in there. And it turns out there were 4 officers who, while the dozens of others backed down, they are the ones who eventually went in themselves.
Yeah, but eventually it was a ways later.
True, but at least, you know, I'm just giving props to them at least for doing something while the others didn't do it. And I have no sympathy for them being scared. Zero. Guess what?
It's the job.
It's the job they chose. That's the reason I'm not choosing that job.
Yeah, you picked the job. What I will say too, it's one of these things where it's like there's this thing going around nowadays where good guys with gun prevent bad guys with guns. And I'm good guy to limit say there's a bunch of quote unquote good guys outside with guns who didn't prevent any singular bad guy with guns. Point being, and that's just another one. This has happened obviously countless times. And as you mentioned earlier in the show, we are numb to this, legitimately numb to this.
Yeah.
Right.
Thoughts and prayers, bro. Thoughts and prayers.
That was one of the best clips, and I posted it on my Facebook and everything like that, where this gentleman gets up and speaks at the NRA convention against towards Wayne LaPierre, who's the president of said organization, and said literally, people have said that Wayne LaPierre has done nothing over the past 20 years because Columbine was 20 years ago. Like it's been that long, and literally said, no, Wayne LaPierre has given thoughts and prayers to Columbine.
And perhaps we have not given enough thoughts and prayers, which is why this is happening.
You're trying to tell me that God is not here to protect our children? What? With all the thoughts and prayers?
You seen that meme of Jesus sleeping? And they're like, hey, there's a school shooting. He's like, oh, don't worry, I'm working in mysterious ways.
Oh, yeah, I did. I was like, I did want to repost that. I was like, it's a little bit much. I'm going to hold back on that one, but that was pretty funny. But okay, but here's another question I have for you regarding that too, right? On the whole thing of prayers. So now I'm taking this into my standard non-religious rant that I go on. If somebody on the Facebooks or whatever asks for my prayers, now how does that work? Because I've seen a bunch of things recently this week going, hey, I'm going through a bunch of stuff, pray for me. Right? I'm paraphrasing, but I've seen this like literally multiple times this week. And I was like, all right, hold up, man. If you're soliciting my prayers, does that really work? Like, should I not volunteer prayers? And if you're soliciting prayers, does God count those? Because you're literally asking for them, or should it be natural? Like, how does that work? Why would you
maybe
ask
you
my
can, maybe you
prayers?
can put in a pool. So when you get like 100 of them, then it's just like, whoa.
No, but I mean, see what I'm saying? Like if you're asking me for prayer, like I don't get why you would ask me for prayers. Do you feel God looks
I mean,
at these prayers that you've
I get it.
solicited
If
as
I were
valid?
to be, if I were to be religious, I get it, like that.
Really?
I mean,
You're soliciting prayers.
yeah. The power of prayer. You believe in the power of that. See, I
But I'm
get
begging
it.
you to give me some.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be like organic or whatever? And if I'm giving you prayers because you asked my prayers, are they really prayers?
If I
That's
beg
what
you
I'm
for
not-
money
I'm
and you give me money, it's really money.
No. One is tangible and one can buy me some stuff and one is
Yeah,
cute.
but others believe it's still real.
But you can believe and it doesn't do anything. Doesn't point. You can believe whatever you want. I can believe I can fly. I still can't. My point being, you go, oh, pray for me to fly. I'm not going to be able to fly. We've established that. My point being, if you're asking for this prayer, does this prayer count as much as the prayer that's given wholeheartedly? And you again on mute when you talk again.
Oh, you see the comment on Facebook?
No,
Prem is
what
asking for you to pray for him.
No, but you see what I'm saying, right? Like, I don't get that. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get that as a request, I guess, right? Now, again, that's me being the non-religious man that I am, but I don't get that as a request. And I'm not saying that you're not going through hard times. I do feel for you in your hard times, but I am saying if you're openly soliciting my prayers, probably should focus on some other things. Bring your hard times that aren't my prayers coming your way. And I'll leave it on that awkward note because that's just what I want to
eat better, be better, pray better. Justice over order always.
Recording another episode coming back to back in a matter of minutes. For those of you on the Facebooks and the Instas, be right back.
Oh,
What you want to
rate and subscribe. Rate and review. Subscribe. Watch the
All
stuff
that
on
stuff.
YouTube, the videos.
Yep, more to come.